Jalen Hurts, QB1. Can he be now talked about with the elite quarterbacks like Lamar, the Patrick, the Joe Burrow? How monumental is this Eagles Super Bowl 59 win? Is this team an all-time great team? We talked about the Chiefs. We talked back-to-back. With that being said, I got the coldest candle in the game. You already know what it is. You know what to do. Cue the music. Skybox, where we give our epic perspective in the imperfect sports world. Now let me introduce you to the coldest panel in the game.
Right, stubborn university.
Anywhere but Dallas University.
How many pull in Philadelphia University?
Michael C. Championship Road University. The coldest panel in the game. Right now, we're at 310 subscribers. You already know what the goal is. It's 400 subscribers. But the main goal is 1,000 subscribers. And if you want that NFL, that Philadelphia Eagles content with a little bit of entertainment, you already know what to do. Hit that subscribe button because it's only $3.99. Let's go. You already know how I feel. Check this out. Remember how you feel. We were in the trenches for 21 weeks.
Dude.
We came out Super Bowl champions. Talk to me, baby.
Yo, I know the haters are eating that crow, and they're motivating us even more when they put their boy Dak in front and say, well, we're close to the Eagles. You're not even close to the Eagles. Step off, son. This is our year. We did what we were supposed to do. Jalen, who was a leader, kept his mouth shut, kept his head right where it needed to be, delivered. That's all there is to it. We're happy birds right now. Fly, Eagles, fly.
Bird gang. Fly, Eagles, fly. You know if you're a bird gang. Comment below how you feel. Super Bowl champions. Let's go. Let's get it. How monumental is this Super Bowl win for the Philadelphia Eagles, Mamba?
I think any Super Bowl is monumental for any team. It shows that, it's a season for a reason. It's not a game here, a game there. It's a season. And with what the Eagles did in that Super Bowl, just tops off a season from start to finish. Whether you start 2-2 and go on a tear and win 17 games and lose one in that process, hey, at the end of the day, they took the Kansas City Chiefs behind the woodshed and showed Patrick what humility looks like.
That's right. They sure did. They took leather to ass, belt to flesh. Mattydubbs tells us a little bit of how the Eagles had a monumental win. Check this out.
Philadelphia Eagles just did the unthinkable, finally taking down the Kansas City Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes. First of all, big shout out to Vic Fangio. The defense in that first half, unbelievable. 24-0, 2 interceptions, 3 sacks, Vic Fangio, you deserve a job somewhere, but man, stay with the Eagles just for a little bit longer because this Eagles team has dynasty potential. We're going to break down some of my favorite plays of the game, including this one right here. Now, the Eagles are going to be in what you call a 5-man scat protection. They're going to slide the offensive line to the right, and then they're going to have man-to-man to the left. However, right, Charles Mattydubbs, this right end is going to drop back into coverage, and they're going to send 1 and 2 up that A and B gap on the right side. Great job by the right guard. Watch this play. So when he notices that Mattydubbs drops back, we want to shift back over to that inside A gap. We want to get over there and help out our center. 1 and 2, and more importantly here, guys, Saquon Barkley. Yes, tough night on the ground early, but man, had one of the best blitz pickups I've seen in a very long time. Great slide over by the right guard. Look at Saquon Barkley. Boom. Absolute unbelievable pass pro rep. And then Jalen Hurts locks up a dart to Jahan Dotson, who ultimately comes down at the 1-yard line. But everything I see in this play, going up against a Steve Spagnuolo defense who likes to send 5, likes to send 6, likes to draw blitzes from different areas, right? They played this amazingly. Big shout to Saquon Barkley, but even bigger shout to Jalen Hurts and Jahan Dotson on that connection. Let's go.
That being said, Darryl, I want to ask you, is Jalen Hurts considered now in the talk of the upper tier quarterbacks?
I mean, I was one of them dudes. I'd never thought that he was outside of the talk. I knew Jalen was going to be good when he had to transfer from one university to Oklahoma. My man was in the Heisman Trophy candidacy, and he took his team to the playoffs. I always knew he was a winner. Now he got the talent around him that equates to him, you know what I mean? But an even better running back, a receiving core that's out of this world, a O-line that was there, a D-line, a linebacker that's up for Defensive Player of the Year, followed by 2 Defensive Rookie of the Years and a secondary that got a great safety in it. So I really think it was like, you know what I mean? He's on an all-around good team. It wasn't just about Jalen, and it wasn't about Saquon, and it wasn't about Sirianni. It was about a team coming together, becoming one, Voltroning it, and doing what they do.
I agree. I think when it comes to Jalen now, he definitely can do some talking. Because when it comes to who's top dog, it's Patrick Mahomes. Jalen Hurts is 2-1 against Patrick Mahomes. And let's look at all 3 of those games. He balled out. This game, he just balled out a little bit. I'll say a little bit more. 17 for 22, 221 yards, 72 rushing yards is a Super Bowl record that he set again. And he had 2 touchdowns, but he threw 1 INT.
But can I say something real quick, though, about talent? I mean, you look at those teams in the 90s. I mean, Dallas was built off the back of Herschel Walker. Let's not forget that. Traded to Minnesota for all those draft picks. And what came along? Michael Irvin, Alvin Harper, Emmitt Smith, Troy Aikman, Nate Newton, Tuanay. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. You know, if you don't have the right talent assembled, you don't win.
That's called the Great Train Robbery.
Right, exactly. You can have all the greatest talent on a team. That doesn't always equate to wins. It's chemistry. This is the greatest team that Philadelphia even said, the player said, we complement each other so well that we were there for each other. And you can see that camaraderie on that team. And the other thing is too, let's put this in perspective. The Giants gave up on Saquon. They told him, go check the market. Philly goes, hey, we'll take you. Okay. A.J. Brown was traded for. They picked him up. Yeah, he's a good receiver. Devontae was found through the draft. Jordan Mailata was found off an Australian football team, rugby team. Landon Dickerson was drafted. Jurgens was drafted. So it's not like Philly went out and did a shopping spree on free agents. They got the necessary talent that they needed to win games. And that's what you got to do.
Let me ask you this when it comes down to it, because listening to all what you're saying here, there was one person that you have not mentioned, and it's time that we give this man credit. Nick Sirianni. Nick Sirianni at one point by week 5 they were calling for his head. Me, I told everybody to relax. Give it until week 8 and we'll see what's going on. Well, guess what, ladies and gentlemen? I said that then in week 12. I said that in week 13. We're now, the season's over. But guess where Nick Sirianni is? Guess what we call Nick Sirianni? He's an NFL Super Bowl champion. Leader amongst men, because as you heard, when Saquon Barkley came to the Philadelphia Eagles, the one person that he was quoting a lot in his press conference was his head coach. And he turned around, and now he was becoming that leader, and it seemed like he was the one, the silent leader that everyone was following. Coach, I want your thoughts about Nick Sirianni and his coaching just this year. He says nothing. He says nothing.
As far as I think with Nick Sirianni, I think Nick Sirianni has truly silenced a lot of people. You really can't say nothing to a coach that has won a Super Bowl, but let's not get it twisted. You know what I mean? It wasn't Nick Sirianni calling the offensive plays, and it wasn't Nick Sirianni calling defensive plays. I think it was a true coaching staff, and I'm not trying to take anything away from Nick Sirianni, but you know what I mean? My man, that's the O-line coach, huge contributor, a name that you'll probably never hear, and it's like the whole coaching staff. It was like they were as cohesive as the team, and when that happens, that is like a once every few years type of thing. So I give it up to Nick Sirianni. You know what I mean? He got a ring, so it ain't too much you can really say. 2 Super Bowls in 3 years? I mean,
can't be mad at that. No.
Go ahead. Sorry. No, but Sirianni, after the bye week, took an approach like any good CEO of a corporation does. He has people in place to do a job. And one of the sound bites that I heard, you don't always get to see the sound bites during the game, but he has the headset on and he's talking to Kellen Moore, and he goes, all right, call for the dagger. And that was the long pass to Devontae Smith, that 46-yarder. He doesn't necessarily have to stand there like Big Red for Kansas City and call the plays. I mean, look at Bieniemy, look at Doug Peterson, look at the former Bears coach that's there in KC. All these guys, all these coaches throughout the NFL, they have different ways, different interpretations of how they call the game. You either have that head coach that wants to control, that wants to be the micromanager of everything, or you have that coach that says, you know what, I trust your judgment. Call it. And he did. He showed that. From after that bye week, those coaches were said, let's do this together.
They were definitely locked in. Locked in. And I want to give a special shout out, congratulations to our old OC, Kellen Moore, new head coach for the New Orleans Saints. Coach, since you didn't want to talk to me on that one, talk to me now. Are the 2024-2025 Eagles an all-time great NFL team with that Super Bowl win in Super Bowl 59?
No, I mean, I love it. Congratulations on your victory, but no, you got to do more than that. That's like y'all just getting off the chair. You're starting to walk. You trying to run with the big dogs, and then you can't be labeled one of the best unless you do it consistently. This is the year where I get to see, because here's where everybody's not mentioning. Contract season starts in approximately 1 month. Now, the new business starts in March.
Right. But
so when new business starts in March, all contracts are null and void since you've won a Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. Now, let's see who's going to be greedy, and let's see who's going to stick it out and who's for the team or who's for themselves now.
So you're looking at, okay, you won the Super Bowl. That's cute. Now, what we'll really start to talk is if you get to a back-to-back.
Back-to-back, 3 out of 4 years, 4 out of 5, you know, dominate, bring
Okay.
back what we call the NFC beast.
So all it takes is just one more Super Bowl.
It takes a little bit more than that. Takes victories.
Hold on.
We go to 2
Listen,
out of 5.
hold on. Listen to what you just said. They have to go to at least 3 Super Bowls, correct? Well, check this out. 2 years ago, they were at the Super Bowl. They skipped the Super Bowl. They lost. They didn't really do anything that year. And then they went to a Super Bowl this year. So if they go to a Super Bowl next year,
it still doesn't make them great because they lost the first one.
but they got redemption. And I'm sorry, it wasn't a redemption. It was an ass whooping. There's a difference. That 40 to 22, that 40 to 22 was, come on, let's be real. That was watered down sugar. That game was really probably, I'll give 16. I'll give you the 16. But that was an ass whooping.
It was an ass
whooping.
It was a pure D, and I would like to thank Saquon.
And here's
Barkley.
here's one more thing. One more thing I want to say, ask you. Was the whooping that Tampa gave them worse than what we did, or was it worse than what we did to Patrick Mahomes?
Patrick Mahomes was not on this game, and I think y'all's game was a lot worse.
Exactly. So you just seen the worst game of quote unquote before all this was going down. If they would have won, they'd have been the greatest team of all time. Patrick Mahomes would probably been talking. They've been talking to him about like, ooh, he's really in that talk of a GOAT now.
Yeah, I can't even lie about that.
That GOAT talk is on pause right now. I want you guys to comment below. Do you think the 24-25 Eagles team is an all-time great? Daryl, since we are talking about the dominant defense that went into Pat Mahomes and the Chiefs, do you think that was the most dominant defensive game that Pat Mahomes and the Chiefs has ever faced?
I mean, that is a different okay. That's a resounding yes. And that was literally from the only thing they won in that game was the coin toss. Let's be real. Because, bro, it was like from the first minute, bro, it was like if you paid attention to that game, you were like, that D-line is about to eat. Bro, 6 sacks, 0 blitzes. 0. They sent 4 with 2 defensive rookie of the year candidates that was feasting. Got birthday cakes out there. Oh, let me get that present. I'm gonna take. You see what Cooper DeJean said when I was going to the touchdown? What did you think? I was getting with Taylor Swift tonight. Oh, he's of a different breed. Last time I seen a bull like him, I was watching White Man Can't Jump. What he was the man, bro. He was the man. That defense looked crazy. That defense didn't even have that linebacker Dean in it.
What version of White Man Can't Jump? What version of White Man Can't Jump?
Oh, the good one.
Okay.
The good one. Not the
Harrelson,
is there?
Harrelson.
Is there? But yeah, man, that was one of the as far as the defense, that was one of the most dominating performances I've ever seen. Because like you said, he got that very long pass with Xavier Worthy when all the backups were in. They're over there like, what size shirt are you? That's what theirs. What size shirt? What size hat are you? Oh, Patrick just threw a touchdown. Oh, whatever, we won. So
I know that's right. That was without a doubt the most dominant defensive game I've ever seen him play against Pat Mahomes.
Made the game very boring.
I want to hear you guys. What you guys think. Comment below. Mamba, who is it to blame for this Super Bowl loss? Is it Pat Mahomes, Andy Reid, or other?
Andy Reid. There was no adjustments, none whatsoever. I mean, you look at the last time the Eagles played them in a Super Bowl 2 years ago, and Pacheco was running all over the place. Where was Pacheco in that game? I mean, there was what, 2 runs in that game, I think, 2 handoffs. I mean, how do you do that? Whether you're down 17-0 or not, you still had, I think, what, 6 minutes on the clock. Why aren't you establishing the run and at least, doing some counters, doing some off tackle runs, doing something where you set up your quarterback for some success? It just goes to show that Reid showed up as a Philadelphia coach that night. I mean, that's what he did in the 2004 Super Bowl. I mean, Donovan drops back. Meanwhile, you have Brian Westbrook in 04 who ran all over people. I mean, sometimes Andy puts himself into a square and he does not remove himself from it. He doesn't think, if I step to this side, wow, I can form a triangle by collapsing that, or I can form another object. There's no thinking on his part sometimes. I think he gets so wound up in, well, Pat will save us. Nah, the magic ran out. Pat did not save you. And
I agree. The magic definitely ran out. Definitely seen it run out in this one. I want you guys to tell me, who do you think was it blame? Is it Pat Mahomes? Is it Andy Reid? Or is it other? Coach, talking about Pat Mahomes right now, how will this loss impact his legacy?
It puts a little stain on him. All the hype, all the win. He wanted to be compared to Tom Brady. He wanted that status. He wanted to be in the Troy Aikmans, the Roger Staubachs, the Terry Bradshaws. He wanted to be in that status.
Right.
It's going to tarnish him right now. I would put him in the category of LeBron, because you can't be losing in the championships like that, especially that bad.
Not like that.
I mean,
they said they had a stat. They had a stat that the three losses that Tom Brady had was a combination of 15 points. Yeah. That alone, that should tell you everything.
And 2 of them were to the Giants by 7.
Talk to me.
David Tyree, catch on the helmet. And not to mention, Tom went to the Super Bowl when he was 26 years old and didn't get back to it until he was 36 years old.
Let me ask you guys this then. Does that end the GOAT talk that he's better than Tom Brady?
Yes.
For now. Until he goes to the Super Bowl next year. For now.
Tom is the GOAT until someone knocks him off the throne.
And there's only one person that can do that. Let's be real.
Yeah, Jalen Hurts.
Ooh, stop it.
I mean,
why not?
I mean, he went toe-to-toe with Pat Mahomes 2 times in a row.
Let's give a shout out to that Eagles O-line. That gave Hurts 5 or 6 seconds back there that you give any quarterback. He's looking like the greatest. That O-line is amazing. Hall of Famers, all pros. Salute to them. Wow, what a performance by them.
Hey, let's not forget, Saquon may not have rushed for 150, okay? But he stayed back there. He took on blocks.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah.
Jalen, right?
Bro, he hit one block?
Yeah.
That was the Devontae Smith throw.
Right.
Where it was because of him.
He made the catches he needed to make, right? First down. There was so much game planning around him. Yeah. That box looked so full and congested.
Oh, yeah.
Why not take those shots down the field that Jalen was taking?
It was the quarterback's paradise.
So at the end of the day, I want you guys to comment below. You hear what the panel's talking about when it comes down to the Tom Brady talk. They really think this thing
Tom Brady to go
cut down a little bit now. Should be silenced just a little bit until he gets back. Comment below. My last question. I'm going to ask each and every one of you and give me your thought. Mamba, I'm going to have you laugh.
All right.
Daryl, can the Eagles go back to back?
Yeah. I think it's like, it's hard to, I really think like things like that are just hard to say because it's like we're barring injury, you know what I mean? But to tell you the truth, that to me is one of the, probably the only reason that they might not go is injury because, bro, the talent, it's going to be the same team. It's going to be more or less the same team next year and the year after. Everybody signed or rookies. Everybody. I've looked numerous times.
What do you think, Coach Twilight? Can the Eagles go back to back?
I'll defer until the schedule's out.
I like that answer. All right.
I'll defer that.
Mamba, can the Eagles go back to back?
So the schedule's out. The NFL released it. The Eagles have the number one hardest schedule in football based on this past year's performance. And we all know that can change too. You know,
Oh, yeah. True.
there's a question, guys leave, this happens, so on and so forth. Philadelphia needs to re-sign Zach Bond. He was on a 1-year contract.
Ooh.
So to lose him,
big.
that's huge. Lane Johnson could retire. I mean, he's 35. Brandon Graham.
He already said he's not.
He's not coming back. Milton Williams is a free agent. Milty deserves his credit too. He did a lot in the rotation with D tackle. DN Josh Sweat was talking a lot. Hey, you could have named me the MVP. And he just signed on with Drew Rosenhaus, so you know he's looking for a big deal at defensive end. So there's a lot of
variables. Let's call it variables, Mom.
Okay, we'll go with variables.
You exactly was going to say what I was trying to get across. This is the season as of the new business season. I know the fanatic Cowboy fans think it's going to be the same team, but it's not. I don't want to be the bearer of bad news. There's a lot of people wanting paydays. It's called pay demand.
Right.
So whoever they don't pay, if he was a key asset to that Super Bowl run, you might not see it again. Now, I'm not saying they can't win 12 games, but it's going to be just a bit difficult to go back just like that because
most of the superstars are under contract.
Yeah. And Philly's with now the 4th offensive coordinator in 4 years. Think about
just
that.
do what you did. Just kind of, you'd be like, here, watch these Kellen Moore tapes from last year. And just kind of do the same thing, bro.
You guys have all have good points when it comes down to it.
Though.
You guys all have good points when it comes down to it on back-to-back. But as I'm looking at it right now, thinking about who we have in the front office, how we will make sure that's all right. How we will make sure that the number one person that he will be signed without a shadow of a doubt will be Zach Braun.
I hope so.
And you're going to draft 2 all-stars like you always do. The next
person that will possibly be signed will get one out of the 2, but I don't see both of them going out the door. I see Josh Sweat going out the door.
I do too. I agree with that.
Milton Williams.
Go get paid.
Milton
I
Williams.
want Milty back. I want Milton back.
Bring him back. But here's something else. You get rid of Josh Sweat, but you still got
Myles Garrett.
Thank you. Myles Garrett is out there. But here's another thing. We don't have to look at Myles Garrett. We have someone in-house.
Alex Hunt.
He's sitting in-house.
Yep.
But we are pretty okay right now. I think the biggest thing right now will be go out there and sign Zach Braun. But here's another one. We're still not understanding this either. It might not have shown now. But if we don't find an outside linebacker, we're in some trouble too. Because Orrin is also a free agent, and the Kobe Dean is not, according to medical staff, you're not fully healthy for another 2 years on the injury that he had. 2 Years. It's going to be a long one, but I want you guys to comment below. Do you think the Eagles are going to go back-to-back? I like their chances.
I hope I'm wrong.
But with that being said, if you have any thoughts, questions, or concerns, email us at the1skybox@gmail.com. It's your boy, Mamba. It's Coach Twilight. It's your boy, Daryl T. It's me, Michael C. Source of Life over the mic. I'm going to leave you with these 4 words. Now let's make it epic. Super Bowl champion. Let's go. You already.
Cowboys, Super Bowl 2026. You heard it here first. You heard it here first.
Gonna make a prediction. If Jerry Jones gets the checkbook out, Deebo Samuel's in Dallas this year.
Something, man.
Think about that.
You know what I mean? I'll take some. I don't. Just give it. Can we get something? You know we need something, Jerry. You see.
Let's make this epic. If you like this episode, let's see who's the difference maker in Super Bowl 59.